AITA for kicking out my girlfriend. So, I have a cat named Raven who's 3 years old. My girlfriend of 2 years moved in with me a few weeks ago, and it was clear she didn't like my cat. I didn't think it was really a big deal until one day I got home and he was just gone. He's not an outdoor cat and he never goes outside. He was gone for hours and I was worried sick until my buddy came to my house and returned him, saying he found him 2 blocks from my house. I asked my girlfriend how my cat, who has never tried to go out before, ended up that far from my house, and she admitted to kicking him out. I was furious, saying she had no right to kick him out, and told her that since she thought she had the power to kick my cat out, I wanted her out of my house by the end of the month. She cried that she had nowhere to go and that she would have to live on the streets. I said I didn't care and told her to leave by the end of the month. My friends think I'm being too harsh, but my cat could have died because of her and I don't want her trying anything else. Am I the asshole? AITA for telling my parents I would not care for my obese brother? When my little brother Teddy was born, his umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck. According to my mom, he wasn't breathing for at least 3 minutes. Since then, my parents often used that as an excuse for Teddy's behavior. My childhood became a living hell with Teddy. Give Teddy your candy. He died coming into this world. Let him play with your friends. He died coming into this world. Let him open your presents. Teddy almost didn't have a birthday. I had to put up with Teddy's tantrums, abuse, fits, and bad behavior. If I touched a single hair on his head, I got punished while Teddy got away with whatever he did. It became so bad that when I was 15, I moved out of the house to live with family members away from Teddy. My contact with my parents and Teddy is limited. Currently, I'm 35 and Teddy is 26. When he was 18, he decided he wanted to be a competitive eater, which turned into just eating. Teddy now weighs almost 600 pounds. Because of his weight, he can't hold a job and lives with our parents who still cater to him and pay for everything. Since Teddy requires round-the-clock care, my parents hardly leave the house. They weren't present at my wedding, only see the grandkids if I bring them around, and all family events like dinners have to hold at their house because it's hard to move Teddy. A few days ago, Teddy suffered a bad fall that put him in the hospital. My husband and I at least came to see him. My parents complained that the hospital wasn't feeding him enough, didn't have a wheelchair big enough for him, and naturally, they didn't want to hear anything about his weight. It would be easier to turn water into gold. To make a long story short, my parents pulled my husband and me aside and asked for a large amount of money for Teddy's care. They said that they didn't have money to keep caring for him and were having to dip into their retirement funds. They even suggested that once Teddy is cleared to go home, he move in with us cause my husband and I are well off with a bigger house, and so, we can get a break cause we have to care for him all year round while you just visit. I said no. My husband told them hell no. We both work full-time. Our kids are enrolled in sports and dance. We made it clear that Teddy would not be moving in with us, nor would we be moving our schedule around to deal with him, or giving them the money even though we could afford it. He's your brother. You almost didn't have a brother. We left the hospital. My mom later called me, berating me for abandoning the family and Teddy and demanding money. I told her I would not care for Teddy under any circumstances. Even if something happened to her and my dad, I would not care for my brother and he's her problem, not mine. My mom cursed me out over the phone and hung up. I do feel a little bad cause Teddy is my brother, but he made my life hell, and my parents refused to take any responsibility for his behavior. Am I the asshole? AITA for refusing to host Thanksgiving for 20+ people for the 4th year in a row? So my fiancé has a rather large family. Parents, 2 brothers with significant others, numerous adult nieces and nephews, and their partners, and there's usually always some distant aunt, uncle, or cousin that tags along. I have 2 family members that join holidays. This year neither will be able to attend. Last year one was present. So for the past 4 years, I've been single-handedly cooking from scratch and hosting for both Thanksgiving and Christmas. So essentially, I've been cooking dinner for 20 people or so while my partner babysits a brisket in the smoker. There's a lot of logistics behind cooking for a large crowd. I start prepping the night before, cook all morning and afternoon, and by the time everything is done I'm too exhausted to enjoy the food I cooked and eat. Last year I requested that everyone attending brings one side dish or dessert. No one brought anything. I had a feeling that's what it was going to be, as no one mentioned what they're bringing, so I prepared for it anyway. Just to also mention, I have never been thanked for hosting or cooking. Literally by no one. All leftovers get picked over and taken home. Last year, I also had to cook the following day because there was nothing left to eat except some baked brie that my MIL turned her nose up to, and I wanted to enjoy leftovers at least. This year, I told my partner that I have no intention of cooking. If he wanted to host, he can cater. His reaction was, "But that's our tradition, can't you at least make some box stuffing or something, and everyone is planning on coming?" My reaction was, "Nope, that's your tradition, I will not make box stuffing, and if they're planning on coming, you better put that catering order in." He has not spoken to me since. I also had to explain, and I shouldn't have to, that I haven't been feeling well. I finished an 8-month course of a pretty rough medication that dries out all the joints in your body. I've been achy and miserable, and I feel stiff when I overwork myself. AITA for not wanting to entertain 20+ people twice a year, every year? I have decided to possibly sit out Thanksgiving completely. Buy a pre-made single-serving Thanksgiving dinner at the local grocery store that just needs to be popped in the oven for a while. And going to watch that new Lady Gaga movie. Edit. Guys, my partner found this post and sent me the link. Now apparently, we're canceling everything because I'm venting to strangers on the internet. I guess he didn't like what he read. Oops.